3.
Canada on the move.
Right here, way downtown. No. No. No 3 for you. Hilarious. Absolutely.
That little chest bump between head coach Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the ultimate statement. A highly publicized, calculated moment engineered to shut down the noise and settle the score once and for all. But let's be real. A manufactured sideline celebration doesn't just erase the underlying tension or rewrite the narrative overnight. Instead of burying the drama, that single, intense exchange only magnified the microscope on this team, proving that the front-facing optics are struggling to keep pace with the real friction brewing behind closed doors.
Atlanta Dream, good team, against the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark, and that was about as dead a crowd as you could possibly have.
It was engineered as the ultimate PR stunt, a calculated, friendly public gesture designed to instantly vaporize weeks of intense media scrutiny and lingering doubts about their internal dynamic. On paper, it was a perfect damage control victory, but closer look reveals that the tension didn't just magically vanish into thin air. Instead of burying the narrative, this desperate bid for a clean public relations win completely backfired, exposing a glaring disconnect and proving that you cannot mask genuine, deep-seated friction with a well-timed photo op.
Unfortunately, just like we've talked about, Stephanie White must have been loving this game because Caitlin Clark was regulated to the third option, which is exactly where I believe Stephanie White wants her. And a byproduct of all this, let's just keep it real. My boy CDS Sports, if this is a new normal for Caitlin Clark, fans will be quietly leaving.
In reality, the issue isn't even close to being resolved. What actually exploded on that court tonight, with the cameras rolling and the pressure turned all the way up, shattered the illusion entirely, exposing a brutal reality that completely contradicts the perfectly staged, manufactured harmony we were all force-fed.
Not playing this game. And she's huge. Literally. 6'3", 215. So a big part of the Atlanta Dream's length did not play tonight. She averages almost 13 points and over 7 boards. She's a massive...
What went down during live game play completely shattered their manufactured narrative, exposing a reality that absolutely nobody saw coming. On paper, this was the exact blockbuster matchup that single-handedly built the modern era of the WNBA. But the actual execution on hardwood told a fiercely different story. Instead of a showcase of unity, the high-stakes pressure revealed deep, undeniable cracks in the foundation, completely contradicting the pristine corporate image they desperately tried to sell to fans.
Did you notice how many empty seats were visible during a game involving Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese? There were some very, very visible empty seats during this game.
We are talking about the ferocious, foundational rivalry that single-handedly blew the roof off television ratings during the historic 2024 basketball boom and carried that explosive momentum straight into 2025. This isn't just another game on the schedule. It is the absolute golden goose of women's basketball, a high-stakes cash cow fueled by pure competitive animosity that the league desperately relies on to drive mainstream dominance.
Number 2, the CBS game that was played the other day, national television, free television. If you got an antenna, you can get CBS. Nationally televised. Everybody can see. That game only drew 1.3 million viewers. I don't know about you guys. That game should drew 1.6, 1.7. The ratings are down.
But instead of the expected absolute pandemonium, the arena sank into a stunning, near-total silence for massive stretches of the night. Think about how damning that is. For a premier marquee game featuring the two absolute biggest, most hyper-marketable names in women's basketball, that eerie quiet should be triggering massive, flashing red alarms deep inside the league office. For a business built entirely on hype, momentum, and crowd energy, that kind of dead silence isn't just awkward. It is an absolute, deafening disaster for the bottom line.
Now, I tweeted this out. Michael Thompson. He played for the Lakers, folks. Broadcaster. He hosts Thompson and Trudell at ESPN Los Angeles. I'm hearing from a reliable source that...
To put it bluntly, what we are witnessing right now is bordering on unwatchable, dysfunctional basketball. Here is the brutal reality of what is actually exploding behind the scenes. Yes, the Indiana Fever technically walked away with victory on the scoreboard, but the internal cost was astronomical. Caitlin Clark, the absolute face of the entire franchise, was inexplicably reduced to a mere third option in her very own offense. A staggering structural collapse that completely breaks the team's dynamic and shifts the entire power structure of how this organization operates.
Extremely positive. He is a huge Caitlin Clark fan. He is hearing the Fever. They're out on Cece. I don't know how much validity there is to that, but I guarantee you, because of who he is and who he works for and what he does now, he's got a source of some kind. So I'm just...
The cold, hard numbers in the box score expose a massive, undeniable shift in the team's hierarchy. Kelsey Mitchell completely hijacked the spotlight, weaponizing a blistering 11 for 15 shooting performance to drop a team-high 25 points, while Leah Boston absolutely bullied the paint to lock down a monster 19-point. 12-rebound double-double. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was relegated to a passive stat sheet stuffer with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, respectable figures for an ordinary guard, but a shocking departure from the hyper-dominant, primary scoring force that the entire basketball world expected her to be.
Is this what the millions and millions of fans tune in to see? Slow, boring basketball? I mean, it's an entertainment product. They won the game, and it was boring. I don't know what else to say. I'd be lying if I told you, oh yeah, I was fired up, I was charged up. This was far and away, let's be real, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, crowd was...
Let's be entirely clear. While that looks like a solid all-around stat line, it exposes a glaring failure in how this offense operates. The scoring flowed through absolutely everyone else on the floor, completely neutralizing the one singular superstar that millions of fans tune in specifically to see take over a game. Audiences demand explosive, dominant performances, not a quiet, passive distribution role. Furthermore, before anyone crowns this new offensive system a success, the context demands a reality check. The Atlanta Dream were completely shorthanded without the formidable presence of their 6 feet 3 inches anchor, who averages nearly 13 points and over 7 rebounds a night. Removing that massive chunk of interior size and length means the Fever didn't just beat a compromised opponent. They did inside an arena that felt utterly lifeless and half-empty. This dead atmosphere scratches the surface of a much more catastrophic issue threatening the league's trajectory. Scan the broadcast footage and the crisis becomes undeniable. High visibility, glaringly empty seats during a primetime marquee matchup. Just one season ago, a clash of this magnitude completely shattered attendance records and sold out massive buildings across the country. Seeing empty territory for this specific, highly anticipated rivalry is an unprecedented failure, and it is absolutely not a fluke or a scheduling quirk. It is a blaring neon red warning sign that the core product is fundamentally broken, a reality backed up by a recent free, nationally televised broadcast that collapsed to a mere 3 million viewers. For a premier national broadcast featuring the league's marquee draws, that rating should have easily smashed past 7 million viewers, exposing a visible, dangerous regression in television interest. The multi-million-dollar crisis the league faces is clear. Why are the exact same fans who fueled a historic boom suddenly walking away? The answer lies in a stunning behind-the-scenes bombshell, as highly credible reports suggest the Indiana Fever front office may actually want out of Caitlin Clark business entirely. Michael Thompson, the widely respected former Laker broadcaster and current ESPN Los Angeles host known for his level-headed analysis rather than cheap clickbait, sent shockwaves to the basketball world by explicitly stating his inside sources confirm Indiana is willing to move their franchise cornerstone in a blockbuster deal, urging the Los Angeles Sparks to do whatever it takes to land her. While an internet rumor can be easily dismissed, you cannot wave off a veteran professional with decades of industry credibility spinning this intel, signaling that the internal conversation surrounding Clark's future has plunged into dark, volatile territory. On the court, tonight's victory gave head coach Stephanie White exactly what she aggressively demands: a low-octane, methodical system where Clark is reduced to a complementary piece, forcing the ball away from her to feed Kelsey Mitchell on the perimeter and Aaliyah Boston in the paint. From a traditional, purist basketball standpoint, you can argue this balanced approach builds multiple threats and validates a new coaching system, but it ignores a brutal reality check. The WNBA is no longer just a traditional basketball product. It is an entertainment juggernaut, and stripping the league's biggest superstar of her explosive power to play rigid, low-impact basketball is actively killing the golden goose. At its core, the WNBA has rapidly evolved into a cutthroat, multi-million-dollar entertainment product where the absolute driving engine behind its unprecedented financial and cultural explosion is undeniably Caitlin Clark. The jaw-dropping logo-range threes, the electric, no-look transition passes, and the appointment viewing energy she commands are precisely what dragged tens of millions of new, paying fans into an arena they had never previously considered watching. When those exact same hyper-engaged fans tune into a marquee rivalry game only to witness a slow, methodical system where their favorite superstar is neutralized into a passive third option inside a lifeless, half-empty building, the inevitable result is instant boredom and a rapid exodus. By deliberately coaching away that explosive, high-octane magic, the front office is forcing a brand new fan base to fall in love with a rigid, traditional style of play they never signed up for. And the catastrophic fallout is already materializing plain as day in the viewership data, where a free, nationally accessible broadcast collapsed to a measly 3 million viewers instead of easily clearing its historical 6 million benchmark. These shrinking numbers and empty seats are not isolated flukes or scheduling quirks. They form a dangerous statistical pattern that proves the casual audience is actively tuning out. When you layer an explosive bombshell from veteran broadcaster Michael Thompson claiming Indiana is willing to move Clark in a blockbuster trade, it exposes a massive level of toxic, behind-the-scenes tension that you simply cannot ignore. When wild trade whispers begin swirling around the most profitable, hypermarketable asset in the entire sport, it signals that the foundation of the league is deeply unsettled. And if this low-impact, share-the-wealth philosophy remains a permanent normal in Indiana, the WNBA is staring down a terrifying, multi-million-dollar paradigm shift it may not survive. This isn't a minor tactical issue that can be patched up during a routine film session. It is a catastrophic business crisis. The millions of energized consumers who financially bankrolled this historic media boom did not fall in love with balanced offensive distribution or rigid half-court sets. They fell head over heels for a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. True phenomenons do not survive while playing a secondary role in dead, quiet arenas, which is why the entire trajectory of the sport hangs in the balance. I want to hear from you. Is head coach Stephanie White building a smarter, more sustainable championship blueprint for the long haul? Or is she actively draining away the exact high-octane magic that elevated this league into must-watch television? Pick a side and drop your raw thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more aggressive, deep dive insider breakdowns just like this, smash that like button, feed the algorithm, and subscribe right now.